You are now listening to the Polygenesis Show.
What up, everybody?
What up? What up?
What's going on, everybody, and welcome to the Polygenesis Show. I am your host, Coach Bruce, and I'm with my lovely co-hosts, Qiana and Jasmine.
What up? Hey y'all. Hey y'all.
Yo. What's good? Hope everybody had a wonderful weekend. Week. Sorry.
The weekend
just started.
Wonderful week.
Well, the weekend actually finna end.
Sitting here drinking
my
berry smoothie. Anyway, hope everybody doing good. I hope everybody's doing good.
What's up with you?
Man, it's been up. I've been up early this morning.
Yeah.
But anyway, we got a good show for you guys. Thanks for tuning in.
Early bird catch the worm, though.
I ain't trying to eat no worms. The worms ain't clean.
Not in real life.
Yeah. So, like I said, we got a good show lined up for you guys, man. Look, let me tell you.
Just tell
us. Tell us.
I got some things to say.
Watch out now.
Y'all got to make sure y'all tune into our show next week. It's going to be popping.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's going to be popping. After this show, we're going to be, if you guys not following us, make sure you're following us on IG at Polygenesis Show. Also, make sure you guys, you're watching this, make sure you hit that subscribe button.
Yep.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you like. Make sure you hit some comments too, man.
We want to hear back from y'all.
We want to hear back from you guys. You know what I mean? Great show. Okay, thanks. But what about the show that's great? Let's talk about it. You know what I mean?
Let's have a conversation.
Make sure the stuff down in the comment. And you never know, man. Some stuff that you guys say have the offer, we can throw it on the show. That'll be dope.
Just throw it in the bag.
You know what I mean? So yeah, man, just this week, man, it's been a lot of stuff going on. Like I said, if you guys are not following our at Taylor Family Empire too, talked about a lot of things, It's just, I don't know how you guys are feeling, but, my spirit is pretty heavy, from the perspective of just the overall, movement of humanity, but I want to talk about, the Polylife.
The Polylife, okay.
And I think you said you had something to say.
Yeah.
But I want to talk about, I think you had something to say too, but I just want to talk, just let you guys know that, when we started out in this journey, it wasn't a lot of people. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It was some, but it was a lot of underground. But now it has expanded, it has arrived, and it's booming, it's more commercial now, it's everything. But I would like to say, don't, shout out to Alex, from the Porter family too, because he was talking about some stuff, and I actually hit him up, and I told him I was going to be talking on the same thing that he was saying, but I was going to be talking about that in our show. Mm-hmm. But he was just talking about a lot of memes and a lot of things. Let me tell y'all something. You have to be realistic when you're building a family or whatever your dynamic is. You got to be realistic. And a lot of times, people are putting memes out there, which is cool, getting people into it, whatever. But once again, you have to be realistic,
right?
When you're coming into this dynamic, into this lifestyle. For one, with me, I'm polygyny, and you have to be realistic. And number one is that it's a lot of work, man.
Yeah.
And I would just say a lot of men and a lot of women are not qualified for this, and so I'm gonna just speak on the men side right now, but a lot of men are not qualified. A lot of males are not qualified. And I would just tell you, you have to have patience. You have to have vision. You have to have direction. You have to have purpose. You have to be contributing, doing something, working in your field, working in your niche, working towards that in order to really build a family. And I'm not even talking about just polygyny. That's just with a woman, period.
Yeah.
A woman wants to feel appreciated. She wants to feel important. She wants to feel like she belongs to something, or she has something to offer and something to give. And a lot of times women get frustrated because of she has these gifts, or she has this know-how or these capabilities, but it's not being utilized.
Right.
and a man has to have that direction and that vision for his family or for that woman, because if she's there to help, if she's there to be a partner, what is she partnering to?
Right.
And a lot of women lose themselves in relationships because they bring on or they get into or they're sold something that's not necessarily true.
Right.
Or they're being taught or being shown things on IG, Facebook, or whatever your social media preference is, and it's not being shown right or accurately. And for me, I'll give you my perspective. I have 3 women, and it's rough. I have to juggle every emotion. I have to juggle their personal life, their spiritual life, their emotional life. I have to juggle everything. And I got 2 that came in with children. Alexis and Jasmine came in with children. I have to juggle that. I have to being able to be a father figure and a mentor to them. I have to be able to give direction and teach, everyone in the house. I have to be a great leader. I have to be a great example. It's times when I hit lows, but as a man, when I mess up, I have to apologize and I have to demonstrate and I have to model humility to them. It's a lot of work. And so a lot of times when we're looking at these memes and we're seeing this, come on, man, this stuff is not realistic. It is a lot of work. And I'm not in this because of I enjoy it. I'm in this because I'm called to it. That's what people got to understand. I'm in this because I'm called to this. This is my purpose. A lot of people can't say that.
Right.
They can't say this is their purpose. And so, yes, I can juggle and I have big shoulders and I can carry a lot of weight. It's because I'm called to it. A lot of people, you put a lot of weight on them, they will fold. A lot of people's not called to this. They're not built for this. And so we have to stop, great, yes, a man, okay, we hear this, a man in his nature is not, used to being with one woman. Okay, that's cool. However, that man has to be mature. He has to learn. He has to get under mentors and be taught certain things, because guess what? A lot of us grew up without fathers. A lot of us grew up without leaders in our homes. A lot of us grew up, I, for one, grew up like that. My father wasn't there, not because he was a deadbeat or anything like that, but my mother moved. You see what I'm saying? My father died when I was 12 years old, and I miss him dearly. However, I was wise enough to grab onto mentors. My mom had a husband. I grabbed onto him. I grabbed on to great influential people when I used to go to school or when I was playing football. I listened to people, my friends, fathers, or whatever. I sat and I learned. The problem is we don't want to learn anymore. No one wants to be teachable. And so now we're taking on a family. A family is the most important thing you will ever do in your life, is take on a family and start a family. A family is the essence, it's the foundation for everything in this world.
Yeah.
And so we don't understand. We gonna come into this with this mindset. And ladies, I'm gonna talk about this next week, but we have to properly vet these men. You have to properly know what exactly is what are you needing? What is your capabilities? What do you have to offer?
Well, that's when they need to know thyself. They need to know their self and love thyself before they start just jumping into some stuff. You can't be damaged and just jump in.
You cannot be damaged, especially jumping in this lifestyle. And one thing that I've seen and I've noticed through people that's been inboxing us and just through casual conversation is that it's always damaged people that want to hop into this.
Right.
And no offense.
That's true.
But Polylife is really getting a bad look because of the type of demographics. Now, mind you, poly is not your salvation.
Sure ain't. And I don't think everybody built for this either.
Poly is not your salvation. So that's number one. Poly is not your salvation. And so we need to think that, I'm going to go into poly because it's going to save. It's not going to save anything.
No, it's actually going to bring out
More.
something.
Come on. If you're insecure, you're going to be super insecure when you come into here. If you're jealous, you're going to be even more jealous when you come into here. If you're broke, you're going to be even broker when you come into here.
Right.
If you're selfish, you're going to be even more selfish when you come in here. Poly is not the answer
Probably just
to people's
shows-
problems.
Yeah, probably show people true intentions sometimes.
And this is what I do. I tell people, now listen, if you want people to tell you the truth, I'm going to tell you the truth. There's a lot of people that's out there. You know what I mean? But you have to mentor. You have to really tug on them. Really tug on their shirt and say, hey, listen, I want to learn. It's not just by watching videos, all right? Because anybody can do this. Look, this is a set, all right? This is a set. These lights is on. These lights, we got cameras. This is a set,
Yeah.
all right? But guess what? These are real people sitting here. Because after this set, after these lights goes off, after this camera, after that stream stops, guess what? We still who we are. And there's not a lot of people that can say that.
Yep.
Right. A lot of people put certain things up on social media that they want, or you got some people that make it seem like they got this rich life and all of that, and then behind the scenes they broke in debt.
And so at the end of the day, man, you can be anything you want online now.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
People
So you got to be
pretend.
careful. And I look at the scriptures in Genesis chapter 1, it says, in the tree, you eat off the tree that produced fruit after its own kind. And so what's that showing us is not about fruit and not about eating fruit with seeds in it. What it's showing us about eating off the tree, taking words and wisdom from people who has the fruit to show it. Because if you're listening, if you're eating, listening, digesting, sitting down and listening and conversing with people who has fruit, like-minded people that has fruit, you will be able to grab that and have seed for yourself to sow for yourself. But a lot of times we're listening to people that have no type of fruit of this lifestyle whatsoever, and they call themselves extraordinaires.
I just wonder why, like, we get so caught up on that type of lifestyle or that type of person. Let's say just people that, like you said, don't have the fruit, and we catch on to it and we like keep it, and it's like it's whole for us. It's like it's good. Like, why? I just wonder why people do that.
I hate to say this, but a lot of people don't. They just eat anything. We don't.
So we're glutton.
We're just gluttony. We just eat anything. We just, whatever my appetite is, I just eat it. And I live off of it, and I feast it, and I desire it. You got to think that word lust, that word appetite, is all the same word. Desire is all the same word in our ancient times. It's all the same word. And so we're just eating because it's feeding our lust. It's feeding our desires. But yet we never question where the food come from. We never question where they get their work. We never question the individual that's putting that stuff out there. Now, mind you, it's all good. I'm not talking about no one here. So if anyone's watching this, please don't take offense. But I'm just trying to speak on the simple fact of we need mentorships going on here.
Right.
We need true examples,
Yeah.
right? It's one thing, and I told y'all, if y'all listen to our story, we got a documentary coming out soon too. But I told y'all the story. Man, 4 or 5 years I've been studying this. But it's cool. Okay, you think you got it. Right? But when you now start to apply it, it kicked my ass.
Yeah.
I just feel like for people who are book people that think, because I read this book, it's going to be like this. No, I'm going to have to say,
True experience.
forget that damn book, because it's not what you
Forget
think it
that meme,
is.
forget them
It's
posts.
not.
It's not what it
It's
is.
not.
You guys see us, we smile because that's just who we are. But
But that don't mean we don't have normal arguments
Come
or
on, man.
stuff,
Right.
problems.
we have
like
jealousies,
a real,
we have all that. It's real because we're human beings.
And
We're
we ain't trying
not
to fake the funk either.
Right, we're not going to put up anything and show y'all like, now we good. Now we good. Yes, we good. Overall, we good. We're moving forward. We got the vision. We got direction. We got purpose. We're doing things. We're walking in our life. We're all growing. We're all maturing. Yes, we're good on that state, but we're human beings.
Yeah.
Right.
Do I get angry? Heck yeah, I get angry. Do I get mad and bothered? Heck yeah, I get mad and bothered. Do I get emotional? Hell yeah, I get mad and emotional.
Right.
Do they?
natural.
Yes.
I know
Do they
I
have
do.
jealousies and contentions at times? Yes. We're human. But it's about being mature and being adults and saying, let's sit down and let's talk about it.
That's also the transitioning piece too. Like, you have to transition from where you at, that status of your life, to now, okay, let's move on. Like, don't stay there. And we always say that, like, don't stay in that state of mind, because it's just like it ruins you.
And you know what's sad is that when I used to be a rabbi over communities and I used to go out and teach, I used to adopt the mindset of let's rip the emotion out of stuff. But when I start learning more and more about who I am, I start learning more even about my sign. I'm a Cancer. I'm ruled by the moon, so I'm very emotional. But not just emotional, I'm very spiritual. I have straight gifted discernment, sharp discernment. And so guess what? That's emotions. That's feelings. And so if I say, hey, let's rip this stuff out, you're ripping the very spirit out of a person. It's not about ripping the emotion or people's just no. It's about understanding emotional maturity. That's what it's about. Everybody's emotional. Everybody's going to feel something. Everybody's going to have something, and that's fine.
It's
But
all about how you're gonna deal with it and
come
take
on,
it.
it's okay. There's mountaintops. There's valleys. But you're on this mountaintop and you hit that low. How do you transition to get out? That's the point. How do you transition? Our transition game has to be good. We can't keep telling people, oh, you can't go into valleys. It's mountaintops to mountaintops. You can't feel this. You can't feel that. Stop it.
Right.
We have to learn how to help people to transition from
Robots
that.
are emotionless.
Huh?
If you were saying how people want you to be like this and don't show or have any emotions, that's a robot. If
Come
you want
on.
a robot, then go buy you one.
Come on. To be honest, I like a little feisty with my women. I like a little, sass. I like a little jam from her own, man. I mean, people gotta understand. It's like, shut up, be quiet. Nah, man. Nah, listen. I want my women to be who they need to be because if I suppress them, then I'm not gonna get what I need to get. And I can't be who I need to be for them. So I need them to flow. I need them to be, obviously it's going to be in boundaries. Obviously it's going to be in flowing. But at the end of the day, I want them to be who they need to be.
Right. Agreed.
Why men are suppressing their women?
Because they suppress.
Like you suppressing your women, but what is that doing for you?
Nothing.
A woman has to be beautiful. A woman has to feel feminine. She has to feel,
She
shout
gotta
out to those
flow.
who do that. I'm saying those who don't want to feel that. I'm not talking to you, no offense. But for some women, they want to feel feminine. They want to feel
gotta flow
beautiful.
like the
They want to be
water.
able to flow. Women are like water. It's the Hebrew word ma'im, to be able to flow, right? But what happens when the pipes bust? It gets chaos, chaotic. That's another word for the mem. It's water, it's chaos. And so the man represents boundaries. It don't represent control. It represents boundaries to keep the
Keeping
woman to
everything in
flow the way
context.
things need to flow.
Yep.
That's what it's about. Man needs woman just like woman needs man.
Yep.
And look, without each other,
We're nothing.
our society is going to crumble. Our civilization is going to be ended. You know what I mean? And so at the end of the day, that's what I just say. It's like people has a misnomer, a misconception about this lifestyle.
Right.
When people
Yes,
hear
they do.
polygyny, they always think, oh, this man is controlling, he's dominant, he's that,
Or
please.
the women are insecure.
Or
They weak.
subservient. We ain't gonna say submissions. We're gonna say subservient,
Yeah.
please.
Right.
Or the woman is weak.
That's what
Yeah.
I wanted to talk about.
Go ahead, let's talk about it.
Okay, so we get that question a lot, and it seems like that would be the main question outside of sex.
Yeah.
But you get that question when they be like, "How do you women that's in polygamy deal with certain things? How can y'all do this unless y'all weak-minded?" And I was telling you the other day, I was like, I feel like they're weak-minded because they know they can't handle this. They know they can't be in a position that we are in and think they're gonna make it. No, it's not gonna work like that. Like, this is not no pity pack. Oh yeah, we all kumbaya. No, we have real life issues just like anybody else. The difference is multiple people involved. Everybody just sitting here have emotions. They have feelings, and it's real. I just feel like, from my standpoint, being in this dynamic, no, I don't see myself as a weak person. I see myself bigger than that.
I mean, let's
see-
think about it. It takes a strong woman to be able to share her husband and understand that this man brings so much to the table. I'm willing to share him
Right.
from my sister because I see where my sister is at. And so I'm able to share him because he's a gift. You see what I'm saying? And I
Yeah.
know that she needs, guidance, or she needs, boundaries and principles and love and trust, and being able somebody to sow into her to cause her to grow. And so I'm gonna share that. That's love.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And if you notice, I ain't mentioned no sex in that, right? But that's
I
love.
just feel like intimacy is on different levels, and you always talk about it. Intimacy, you could just have a conversation with somebody. That's being intimate.
Come on, because the word
One
knowledge,
should rub
the
in my
word
head.
knowledge, come on, the word knowledge in the Hebraic thought, or I would say in the Semitic thought, is the word yada, which means intimacy. It's getting to know. And so when we converse and we have a conversation and we're midrash and we're discussing and we're seeking things out, that's an intimate level. You see what I'm saying? And then you start feeling for somebody, you start falling for somebody because that's intimacy. You're opening yourself up.
Right.
That's intimacy.
You
And
being vulnerable, you unveiling yourself.
yeah, and so it's funny because it's like she said, people think that's weakness, but it's not weakness. You know what I mean? And shout out to those who actually says I can't do it. But I tell you this, you can do it. Everyone can do it. But
You just
do
not
we
there yet. You're not to that level
and do
yet.
we put things in our path to challenge us? That's the thing. Because at the end of the day, man, I didn't think I could do this. When we first started, it was a great idea. It was a great concept. And I was like, I don't know.
It's a great idea.
But I know I'm generational polygynous. You see what I'm saying? And it's in my blood, and I'm a chief at heart. Like, people don't understand I'm a chief at heart. You see what I'm saying? This is just who I am. I am true royalty without trying to, toot my own horn. I don't call myself, you don't hear me do that. I don't call myself a king or whatever. But I am a true royalty because I'm a true leader. You see what I'm saying? And so at the end of the day, I'm called to this. So a lot of things I can handle, I can bear. I don't wish that on nobody else. And also, everybody can't do it.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Some maybe can do one, some maybe can do none. Some maybe can do two, some maybe can't. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, I just know who I am. And so I would say for those... go ahead.
I just feel like when women are getting into this, I feel like they need to know their self and they need to know the type of man they dealing with. If he's a weak man, it's not gonna work. If he don't have no foundation, it's not gonna work.
But let's look at weak. As far as weak man, I don't believe that no man is weak, but I will say that if a man is not emotionally mature, how do he handle stress? How do he handle
with
weight?
disagreements
How do he
and stuff?
deal with disagreements? How is it that, when you say, okay, this is, baby, I really believe that this is what we need to do. How do he adjust to that?
So basically, how he come off and speaking to you, is he a type of man that want his women to be at odds, or is it a man that he sees?
Do
I
he
want
bring
to
people
do
together, or
together?
do he
Yes,
divide?
that's
You see what I'm
it
saying?
is.
And so, do he see value in you, and do he bring out that potential out of you? Do he sow into you? These are the things that women has to look for. You see what I'm saying? And men, these are the things that you have to look inside yourself. Because guess what? Everyone can be there. Some people naturally are born with it. Some people have to be taught.
I just feel like, we're not, like you said earlier, we're not saying that we're the answer. We're not saying that we're perfect, because everybody sitting here, we all grow and we're still continuing to grow. A lot of things we had to work out, to deal with this and to continue this type of process. Like, this is nothing that, you wake up and say, yeah, I'm going to do this and jump right on in. No, it don't work like this. This is something that he said that they study, and even with studying, it still was not what you think it is. A book is a book. It's black and white. It's not giving no emotion. You have to deal with it.
Yeah, Go ahead, man.
I just think like when we started out, it was complicated. We had to learn each other. Even though we've been together for so long, we had to learn how to be in a dynamic where we had another person to attend to. You had to attend to her, and I had to attend to her too, but it was separately.
Dynamic, because I know people will be seeing us post on Taylor Family. They'll see me with maybe Alexis, or a picture with Jasmine by herself, or a picture with Qiana. It's because we have individual relationships. You know what I mean? Yeah, we're a poly, but that doesn't mean we do everything together.
Right.
We do a lot of things together, but no, we also celebrate our individual relationships as a whole that brings the unit together. You see what I'm saying? And so it's learning each other on that level as well. I have 3 relationships inside one. That's what is called poly. Or that's what is called a cod one, which means a unity. It's a unit. It's many things coming together as a unit. All right. And so, yes, I have 3 different relationships. Actually, I got more if you include our children. But I have many different relationships that I have to, find that balance with. Once again, it's equity. balance. That's what it's about. It's not saying, oh,
Not quantity, it's about equity.
yeah,
like
it's
you
about
said.
equity. It's about balance. And so a lot of times people feel like, well, how can he give all these women all that attention? Well, think about it. Do women really need all that much attention? If you do, then you're not being productive.
Right.
Do children need all that much attention? If they do, then they're not really being productive. I'm saying younger children, they need attention because they have to be trained. I'm talking about older. And so it's about equity. It's about balance. You see what I'm saying? It's about making sure that everyone is being productive inside your family. You see what I'm saying?
Everybody have a position.
Right. Everyone has a position. Everyone has a say. Everyone has some authority, levels of authority inside this.
But it's not saying like with the kids, like we just push them off to the side because they
No.
older. It's just now, you can do what you need to do without
Because you're being
me.
trained.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Right.
And
Like
now-
you've kind of
Basically,
mastered
you
the
saying
thing.
Their hand don't need to be healed the whole
Right,
time.
right.
Yeah.
And that's just and to be honest, that's balance. And so how do we handle another woman coming in? Easy. If we are doing our job as men or whatever your demographic is, we doing our job, the ones that's already there should already have the plan. Should already have everything should be set in motion. So now it frees you up to now help bring in that woman or whatever that demographic is, bringing that person into your family, and now you give them that attention and that time that they're needing to get. It's just like a child, right? You have one child that's kind of a little bit more codependent on you, and another child that can really do their thing. You show the child that can really do their thing to get them going, so that you can have that time to really help
Right.
that other child that needs that more one-on-one. And so that's the same thing. And then eventually, like I said, if you're building your nucleus, if you're building your family right, if you're building your how can I call it, your system right, then the women that you have or whatever you have, if you're building it right, if you invest in that time, then they should be able to now help teach or help bring in the other ones as well.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And so that's the goal. That's the secret. That's the Coach Bruce secret. It's building the system. And I learned that from Elder Asa, man. Shout out to Geechee Farmers, man. I learned that, man. He was like, the most successful thing you can really have is a system.
Right.
Nothing successful, anything successful has a system.
Right.
You
Well,
know,
gotta
and
look at everything. Everything got a system. Our
everything has a
body,
system.
An agency, a big corporate agency have a
Everything.
system. Everybody
Your car
have a
system, your
position.
electric
Yeah,
system, your AC system, everything has a
Without
system.
one, it don't work. You
And that's the
need
thing.
everything.
Teamwork.
And that's the thing. And so with our polydynamic or our polygynous dynamic, they say it's hinged on the man. No, it's hinged on everyone for us.
Right.
Because I created a system.
Right.
This is what people got to understand. There's no big I, little me's here. Whatever your role is, it's not insignificant in our family, in our structure, because we all need each other. We're all interdependent.
Right.
We all need each other, not from a dependent state, but
Yeah.
independent people working together interdependently.
Yeah.
Basically, you're saying how without Qiana, you basically won't be at a certain level.
Of course.
Without Alexis, you wouldn't be like that.
Of
That's
course.
what you're saying.
Of
We
course.
all need each other, vice versa. I need them just as well they need me. We
Yeah.
need you.
And that's called a system, just like it's an ecosystem. You have, the water comes down in the earth, gets watered, the vegetables and everything grows out of that. The animals eat it, the humans eat the animals, or you
Right.
eat whatever your preference is, or you eat just straight vegetation. And then your bio movement actually feeds back the earth, and it goes back, and it's one complete cycle. And so that's called a system. That's a family.
That's the circle
That's
of
a
life.
familiar. That's a family. That's a circle of life. And that's how your family is supposed to be set up. It's supposed to be self-sustaining and self-sufficient, completely relying on each other. You see what I'm saying?
Like Lion King.
Yeah. And so
I'm
it's
sorry.
the circle of life.
When you said that, I was thinking about Lion King.
Right. But it's a self-sufficient community. It's a
Right.
self-sufficient family. Because once again, when we learn how to work ourselves and deal with ourselves, individuals, right, people, our human nature,
Oh, great.
then we can be able to work on our family. Then when we work on our family, we be able to build communities because they all go hand in hand. You see what I'm saying? And so, once again, it's about feeding that. It's about feeding that. And like I said, shout out to those who are making this poly joint, known. Shout out to those who are being true inspirations. Shout out to those who are being true examples and pioneers in the game. You know, because I don't by far, I'm not a pioneer. I'm always a student. You know, but I know people say that I teach, and then that's good because I do. I don't call myself a teacher. What do I call myself? Y'all remember?
You a student. I mean, yeah.
No, you are.
Practitioner.
Practitioner.
I'm a practitioner.
Yeah,
Because I
they do
practice
a while ago.
what I
you
teach.
teach.
I practice what I teach.
Okay.
I'm a practitioner. I'm not a teacher anymore.
I was
Teacher
looking
can
at
teach concepts.
something on Facebook, and it was somebody that I went to high school with, and they was doing a little YouTube video, and I guess she's in a polygamy relationship with her baby father with the other baby mother, and they just came together, and I was like, oh, like this is the thing, like this is 21st century, we're doing it, everybody out here, everybody doing it, like, and they my age, close to my age, so it's like it was different to see somebody my age actually doing something outside of, me, because you don't really see a lot of people young doing it, but people got their things they still need to work out.
It's so broad now. Like I didn't think it was gonna be like this. Like when we started out, I didn't think it was gonna be so big. Like it's got so much exposure. It's like now everybody's kind of into their own type of relationship style, whatever they want to do. It's just like some people having fun, some people just like, yeah, I want this type of lifestyle, or I want
people
how
still
you.
wholesome.
But if you really
Yeah.
think about it, they've been doing this from back in the day. That's why the song
Well, yeah,
Papa
I know
was a
that.
Rolling Stone. They've been doing
Yeah, I
this,
know that.
doing that.
But I'm saying like it's actually acceptable. Like you see it more. Like it's,
But I would say,
it's
is it
acceptable
really
now.
acceptable?
No.
It's acceptable when it looks free. Like I'm saying from the perspective of when it looks loose.
Okay. Okay.
You see
I
what I'm
what you're
saying?
Yeah.
When there's a free for all, right? I'm not saying, hey, it's a smorgasbord. Go out here. At the end of the day, you go do you.
Right.
But I still believe in ethics. I still believe in morals. I still believe in principles. You see what I'm saying? I still believe in the gifting of sowing and reaping, or some people might say, what is that? The yin and the yang. What is that
The
now?
balance.
Huh?
Yeah.
Oh, the yin and yang. Well, whatever you put out there is whatever you get back. So I'm a firm believer in that.
Right.
And so I like the golden rule still. You treat people how you want to be treated.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right.
Absolutely.
So at the end of the day, shout out to those who live in their truth. You know what I mean? But at the
Yeah.
end of the day, there's going to come a point in your life is that now you're going to say, now what? You see what I'm saying? My goal is to get this land. You got this land. Now what? My goal is to finally convince my girlfriend or my wife to let's do polygyny, or let's do poly, or let's have a threesome. Whatever your goal is. Now you got it. Now what? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
Now
I think
what?
that's the elevation part of a person too, because you're always evolving into something greater, and it's always going, up. You're always going. Well, it's supposed to be. You're supposed to be going up, but you're always supposed to be doing that. It just makes more sense. You can't just stay at this level that you've been at for many years. If you have goals and aspirations and dreams and stuff, you want to do some great things. And not saying that threesomes is that great thing, but whatever your great thing is and your goal is, go for that.
I learned this
I just feel like every year a person's supposed to grow like a child. They grow and they mature and they old and they started to learn certain things as they grow.
And don't be afraid to start over. I learned this many
Ain't nothing
years
wrong
ago.
with that
I
either.
learned this many years ago. And like I said, if y'all always hear me, I always give shout outs to my mentors. I give shout outs to, and like a lot of times I name drop my mentors too. Because we always talk, it's a little joke that we say, hey, first time we'll say where we got it from. The second time they'll say, I heard this, and then the third time we'll say, I always say, But I love people, and I honor people who actually gets concepts and they quote where they get those from. You know what I mean? That they build their concepts and perspectives also. So I give a lot of respect and honor to people like that, because I'm a guy who's a product of many different teachings.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And I have baked, I will say, molded my perspective and my concepts, and to made it me, to make it me, and to make it where I'm going. But anyway, what I was going to say is that, don't be afraid to start over, because if you count 0 to 10 or 0 to 9, that's a level. But once you get to level 10, you're on a different level, but you start back over at 0. And so don't be afraid to start over, because a lot of us are starting over from a different level,
Right.
a higher level. A lot of us are afraid to let things go. And I posted a picture the other day on Thursday, and I was like, you have lived when you actually find something to die for. You know what I mean? And so think about that. You have to be willing to let things go. And I'm not saying let things go as far as, your relationship. If things doing good, I ain't talking about that. But I'm saying let things go as far as your mindset, your perspective.
Yeah.
Because a lot, our biggest enemies is the people that you look in, is the person that you look in the mirror
Yeah.
to. That's the
Ourselves.
biggest enemy is ourselves.
Yep.
It's nothing else out here is really your enemy but you.
Yeah.
Our fight is internal. It is internal. Our biggest fights are internal. You know what I mean? And so our biggest fights is ourselves. And when we learn how to conquer ourselves and we learn how to govern ourselves, man, and I'm on that path. You know what I mean? But when we learn how to govern ourselves, man, we'll be amazing. But like I said, don't be afraid to start over, because a lot of us are starting over from another level. And when you got another levels, you got new challenges.
New
You got
devils,
new
new levels.
adversities. You know what I mean? You got new situations. And so don't be afraid to get out of your shell. Don't be afraid to even go into a shell to transition yourself. You know what I mean?
That's like
Don't be
you
afraid to
always-
hibernate.
That's like what you always say. You be like, if this path that you take is easy, then maybe that's not the path. For
Come
you.
on. That's
You
true.
not what
always
you're
gonna
supposed
have
to do.
some type of
Adversity.
Resistance
adversity.
or something.
And adversities are not designed to make you quit. That's what
it's
people gotta
designed to
understand.
push you into your greatest.
It's designed to see your true potential. You see what I'm saying? Because without the adversity, you wouldn't have known that you was able to push that car when your car ran out of gas. Without the adversity, you wouldn't know that you can handle certain things in your childhood. You know what I mean? Or
It
certain
brings
things
that
you
strength that's within you.
It brings that in strength. It's that internal strength that you're getting in tune with. It's getting in tune with the strength and the potential that's inside you. And I use potential, and I know a lot of people really don't like potential, but I love potential because it shows what you actually can achieve. But potential in itself is not adequate. You also need to be around people or learn how to challenge yourself to bring the potential out of you to now start walking in who you're called to be. And that's why it's so important with my family and with building the family. And building your family is because of I have different personalities that brings the best out of me. You know what I mean? And it helps me to grow. And what she brings to me helps Qiana and Alexis. You see what I'm saying? Or what Alexis bring to me helps Qiana in there. And so, and what I bring to them, then they all help each other. And so that's the key. It's not just hinged on me. Because like I said before, if I die and this dies, when I die, then I was a failure while I was living. And that's something that you got to understand. If everything is dependent upon me, then I'm a failure. I'm a failed in leadership. I'm a failed father. I'm a failed husband. I'm a failed teacher, practitioner, whatever you want to call it. I'm a failure because it died when I died. That's not legacy.
Right.
Legacy is the ability to have something move on even when you're not there.
Continuation.
And so a lot of times we see that as children. That's our carnal, our natural, perspective of looking at legacy is just your children. But it's your economics, it's your finances, it's your leadership skills, it's your ability to teach. Who did you inspire in your life?
I feel like you could still live a legacy without kids. I know my uncle did.
Yeah,
the
you
uncle
can.
that I was telling you about, he passed away at 34, 32, no kids. But he have a day named after him. He have many people that he inspired, and dealt with, like Chance the Rapper, all of that. Like he was involved with them because he did this. Now they're to their potential, they're to their greatness. So I feel like you said, legacy should continue. It shouldn't have to be hinged on you, your kids. It should something that you did.
My father's legacy was so powerful that I was doing things that he did without me even knowing he did it.
Because it's in your blood.
Because it's in my blood. People don't understand that. It's super past the physical sometimes. My father mentored and helped so many people. And when I hear the stories and I heard the stories, like, wow, that's me. I'm continuing that path. Now, I always teach my children. My son said, I said, son, what you want to be? I want to be like you, Dad. No, don't be like me. Be better than me.
Yep,
Because
that's what we always
it's
tell
the
'em.
seed. The seed is designed to produce more than what was before it.
Yep.
All right? The seed was designed to produce more than what was before it. And so at the end of the day, I teach my son, I don't be in competition with my children. I don't be in competition with the women, because my job is to sow seed so that that seed that they have will produce even more than what I gave them.
Yep.
And that's what a woman does. Let's look at biology. A man sows a seed into a woman. He sows his semen, his sperm into a woman, right? That woman takes that. If she's fertile, she takes it. 9 months, she incubates it. She takes care of it inside the woman. And then when it's ready, the woman gives birth and make what that man gave her, she makes it real into the earth. Think about that. So why do you want to suppress your women? A woman has much more reach than a man will ever have.
Yeah.
Think about that. A woman can get into stuff that a man can't.
Right. They give it to a woman before they give it to a man real quick.
People got to understand this. And I'm not talking about no perverted stuff. Like the stuff that I'm saying is pure stuff. I'm not saying no perverted stuff. And so think about that. The woman's ability to take something that you gave her and to maximize it. And so it's not about, okay, here it is, sex, but it's about coming together. If you're going to do poly, it's about what can you actually birth out into this world that has nothing to do with your first name, but everything to do with the society's coming, everything to do with your last name. Think about that.
Yeah.
Think about that. That's the dope. Like I said, I got something to say. Let's talk. Let's talk.
What we talking about?
Well, what we talking? Right, what we talking about? You know what I mean? And I posted this, and I posted this the other day, and it was no diss or no dig towards nobody, but I was just sitting here listening, because we as people, not saying we like me or us here, but as people, we tend to glorify celebrities. I don't understand that. I don't understand that. These people are human beings.
Yep.
These people are people.
Emotions. You take that
The
name.
only thing that they have that's different from you
It's money.
is the fact that they're more slaves to their contracts. That's it. And they got the ability, their face to be plastered everywhere.
They got the
Okay.
fame and the fortune.
Well, we don't know about their fortune. We just say they got the fame. Everyone knows their name. We'll say that.
Okay.
But let's just look at that. And there's no hate. But why are you idolizing or glorifying someone else when you can put that much energy into yourself, into the people around you? Those who you can physically touch.
Yep. The
These
tangible-
people, think about this. These people dropping IG.
That's true.
Yep.
That's true.
Think about that. What makes them more successful than you? Stop measuring your success to other people.
Right.
You're just as equally successful as them.
Right. You just have to
freer.
have more of a. You have to believe more into yourself, just like they do. How they pushing themselves, you should push yourself even more.
Come on. It's just that they're
you have the
bonded.
freedom.
They have contracts. They're in more slavery than you are.
Right.
You out here free, a little bit more freer. You got a little bit more time management. Guess what? If they don't do a show, they could get sued.
Yeah.
If they don't
On them
produce a
contracts.
certain amount of albums like they supposed
Come on.
to, they get cut.
Just like that old Outcast song. He said, I go through the same stuff that we have. True, I got more fans than the average man, but now the loop to the last me. To the end of the week, I live by the beat like you live check to check. Think about that. He said, that was that be and you, your mother and your He said,
Elevators.
he said, so if I don't let you move your feet, then I don't eat. So we like neck to neck. Think about that.
Yep. That's true.
Stop comparing yourself to these people, man. These people are, look, listen, no diss to nobody out there, but these people know better than you.
Right.
It's just they seen the opportunity and they took it.
Yep.
And a lot of us has opportunity and we sit on it. A dream is nothing when you don't put in work to make it right and manifest it. A thought is nothing in itself until you manifest it. And how do
Dream all day. If you're not doing no work, you're not doing what you need to do, putting that manpower in, it's just gonna be a dream forever.
come on? And so
But
my
not even the manpower. It's the passion that's behind
it's
what
passion
you're
that
doing.
fuels it. Passion is that it's fire. It's what fuels it. And so I would say this, man. And so my point was saying all that is that, you know, let's not get caught up on the likes and the followers. That doesn't. And guess what? You can market some bull crap.
Yeah.
That doesn't make it good. McDonald's got good marketing, good branding, but they don't have good food.
The fact
Ooh.
that they can put a
I'm just
sign
saying,
in
let's
the
look at
window.
fast food for instance. I'm just
That's
really being
true.
real.
That's
when it's
true.
when it's come on, you
No,
guys.
Hey,
no, what I was
that's-
trying to
he's
say,
keeping
the
it
fact
100 though.
that they can put a sign in the window that said now serving 100% beef.
Right, what the
And
hell
y'all
was we
still
eating
going?
before?
My thing is
It's
when,
the name.
my thing is when you can have the golden arches without the McDonald's under it and people still know what it is. That's power.
Yeah.
That's marketing.
Yeah,
Yes.
When they come out with a board games, good.
that's true.
And so another thing is at the end of the day, and so my point is this. If you're looking for genuine, I always said this when I was younger growing up. I always wanted the difference between mega churches and the small community churches.
Oh, it's the
And
difference.
I used to go to mega churches, and it was a place where you could get lost in. It looks like people just wanted to join to be a part of something. To feel,
Right.
this is this guy, and I want to be a part. I just want to drop names, and I want to say I'm this. You say I belong, now that makes you feel important.
You gotta go to 10 people.
Come on,
10
look how
different
insecure
people
we
just
are.
to get to
Right.
him.
I mean, but no, baby, shout out. They got their thing. But my thing is, when you look at the old churches or the old stuff in the communities, they didn't have that many people, but they had so much passion, so much desire, so much fire. You seen so much
That was the love that
life.
you felt,
You see
too.
so much life that they had, and the fact that it was more intimate, they got to know you. But a lot of
Yep.
people don't like that though.
That's
A lot of people don't like people up in their business because they
I
want to
can't
just go
even pay a
somewhere and hide.
bill.
You see what I'm saying? But we have been far removed from community. Because think about that, a community self-governs itself. That's what a family does. A family self-governs itself. And so if you want to go and be a part of something just because you want to feel like you're part of something, then you need to really look internally at yourself. Because nothing external should make you feel better inside. You should already have that inside you. You should already have that love. You should already have that capacity to love. You should already have that desire. And I'm not saying that if you don't, then there's something wrong with you. What I'm saying is if you don't, then we need to work on ourselves. Let's stop trying to cover up our inadequacies with external things. Let's deal with the things so that we can be more effective in this next move.
Your favorite line is, it's a heart problem.
It is. It's a hard problem. You know, and so that's what I just say, man. Like I said, I just want to talk to you guys today. You know what I mean? I got a lot on my chest, man. I got my
Get
chest.
a lot off your chest though.
Yeah, man, my chest is heavy because I look at humanity like I feel you guys like, man, something ain't right, man. And it's just like, it looks like everything is getting, man, that's the illusion. That's the illusion. I'm telling you, I was talking to this,
This is the matrix for real.
I was talking to a lady today when I was getting the radiator done in the van, and she's Native American. You know, she's an older copper color woman, like my color, nice high cheekbones, you know. And she was like, I was like, are you Native American? She said, yes. I said, what tribe you are? She's like, I'm Cherokee. I was like, oh, me too. You know, I got Choctaw to me. She was like, oh, wow. Like, yeah. She was like, I just don't like the shit. I said, girl, you better rock them cheekbones. She was like, okay. I will. I said, shoot, them cheekbones, that's our joint.
Signature.
You know what I mean? And so she loved it. You know what I mean? And we just had a ball, but we were just talking about the state of where everything is going. You know what I mean? In the state of, and I was telling her about self-sufficiency, and I was telling her the story of, because, you know, we deal with homesteaders and people that's homesteading. You know, our company has just changed, you know. Whereas that, the company, I mean, the people who we keep changed. And homesteaders, they like, shh. A lot of them that I talk to is like, nah, we wasn't affected by it. the crisis or whatever.
Right.
And so you got to think, why wouldn't they? Because their livelihood wasn't dependent upon whether civilization, you see what I'm saying? Like their livelihood wasn't dependent upon that.
It was dependent on their family.
It was dependent on what they did, what they worked. They built their own economics, their own economy. This is what people got to understand. Family is economy. It has to be self-reliant, self-sufficient. This is what we have to understand. And I'm gonna be done with this one. But like I said this on a show before. But I met a guy at a supermarket. You know, he was a European man, and he was old. You know, and I asked him, I was like, "Yo, what's your story? Like, how you end up working here at the supermarket? You know, greeting." I said, "You should be retired, man, enjoying life." And he was like, "Yeah, I was." He said, "It's just, you know, I retired, but it's not enough because." You know, to get a 1-bedroom apartment is like $1,200 now, and all this, and so I had to go to work to try to, sustain, you know. And I was telling him about the land and things like that. He was like, "Man, I envy you." He said, "Boy, I wish to get back to the land and back to farming and things like that." He said, "I got a story to tell you." I was like, "What's going on?" He was like, "You know, when the Great Depression hit, me and my family didn't even know it hit because it never affected us." And I was like, wow. He said, because we provided everything. Only thing we didn't provide was genes for ourselves. Affect you. Think about that. A lot of resources that we depend on, a lot of it is free. Water, you pay for that, but it's free.
Right.
You know, your
Natural
agriculture, your
resources.
seeds. Think about that. They're trying to, what is that called? When you patent seeds. Think about that. A lot of farmers went out of business because of Monsanto's. You know, they're patenting seeds or they're giving seeds. Yeah, they're giving seeds away that doesn't produce seeds. And so once you farm, once you have it, you got to go back to the people and buy more seeds. And so think about stuff like that for a second. Hold on. So think about stuff like that for a second. The seed is in itself. Think about that, you guys. Relationships. We're one with the earth. You cannot strip out agriculture out of your life because you'll be walking blind in life. Our ancestors was farmers, and that's a marketable, a highly respectable occupation because it teaches you to take care of yourself and be completely reliant on yourself. If you don't eat, it's because you didn't work. Right. If you don't have shelter, it's because you didn't build it. If you don't have these things, it's because you didn't do it. So whose the excuse falls on now? Yourself. We have to learn how to start taking responsibility, accountability for our own actions. That's the only way to evolve, and that's the only way, not just to evolve, but that's the only way to get back to the nature, to what's natural. Go ahead, baby.
I forgot. Because when something hit I got to say it.
I'm sorry.
I was just thinking about what you said about just taking care of yourself, because I know my great-grandfather was a farmer. His son, my grandfather, was a farmer. My mom, she does that too, so I know it's in me to do the same. It's just looking back at them, you just feel so inspired. Like, I just, when I see pictures of, like, history of my family, I just be like, wow, like, this is me, you know. And it just be little small stuff that I be thinking about that I know once we get to the land, I'm just gonna dive right in, you know, just like cutting up chicken. I don't know. It's just weird as hell, but I enjoy it. I don't know. It's just, I like cutting and trimming the fat and all. I don't know. It's just weird, but. Yeah. But I know that that's what I'm going to be doing. And I know as far as us being
animal husbandry.
Yeah, like we're already doing that stuff.
Well, I'm glad you're looking forward to it, because I'm not
like that.
Fearful.
Not like that, but I know it has to be done.
Yeah, you know, and my fear is not, yes, I get inspired. But then there's a little voice inside my head to say, look at all that work you got to do. And I tell you, man, we have been so spoiled
that's true too.
as a society that when we hear the word work, we go the opposite way.
Yeah, be like,
Because we want things easy and we want things convenient. And that's what sells. Look at every major app that you use and tell me if there's no conveniency in it.
Yeah, that's true.
That's how they sell you.
That is
So
true. That
they
is
want you to be completely 100% reliable. And that's fine. That's their system. However, I choose to not play the game anymore.
Right.
I choose not to be the hamster on the spinning wheel anymore. I choose to say, hey, if I die, it's because I'm in control. If I live, it's because I'm in control. If my family prospers, it's because I'm in control. And when I'm saying I'm saying them. It's if my family, if my children be successful in life, it's because we took the responsibility of teaching them ourselves.
Right.
If they become entrepreneurs and they become entrepreneurs and farmers, whatever the case may be, it's because we invested that time into them. No one else.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm not saying no one else can say anything. That's not what I'm saying. But we have to start taking responsibility and accountability for our lives.
But I was thinking too, like even we just don't know how much stuff is inside of us that we haven't even tapped into yet, that is about to come forth when we go to our land. Like that's amazing in itself to me. But not just even being on the land, but just stuff that we've been dealing with, these past couple years. It's just coming to fruition. Just coming out and open, and like everybody's being just brand new and being born all over again, and not in a religious set, but just spiritual. Like you're coming into
we
your
all
own.
have a death in life situation.
Yeah.
We die and we come back to life every year. We die in certain situations and then we come back to life because we learned how to press through it. We learn how to forgive, or we learn how to, take that experience and make it better for us. So we all have a death and a birthing experience. So there's nothing wrong with that. Definitely. And be willing to die.
Yeah.
In order to live, you got to die.
Yeah.
Meaning he's talking about
Not like
you're gonna
if you physically
go
die, you die.
die.
Then I'm sorry.
That's not what
whatever
he's saying.
whatever your body goes after
He's
that.
saying
Whatever
your
you go.
old man
Spiritual man.
needs to die in order for your new man to.
Your new thoughts, your new
to come
concepts,
through.
your new outlook, everything. It has to die. Everything has to die. You cannot get
Even
something.
the people that you used to hang with needs to
it
go,
gots to
baby.
die.
Gots to go.
Old things. All things become new. And this is what people got to understand. Wherever you're trying to go, if you haven't got there yet, you maybe need to do some assessment
Yep.
around yourself and see who's the people that you're holding on to. Do they have the same ambitions as you? Are these people the one that's dragging you down? Or these people are instead of speaking positivity into you or making you balance, but they're always diminishing that what you want to do. And so these are the things. And look, sometimes cutting off people don't mean they're bad people.
Right.
Think about that. Sometimes we got to cut off
It's
good
just
people.
you got people for a season.
Yeah, man. Look,
it.
people are not bad. There's good people. They just might not be good for you.
Right.
This is what people got to understand. So it's okay. But guess what? Every year we have this thing called the springtime. And we're always hard on ourselves on spring cleaning. And that's where that Passover concept come from. And it's getting rid of things in your life, or getting rid of clutter, getting rid of stuff that you've been holding on to, getting rid of it so you can make new. You make it fresh. And I'm telling you, I don't know about you guys, but when you cleaning up your house, you got your music on, or you got your windows up, whatever the case may be, and you clean and you sit down, it feels different.
Yeah.
You feel more calmer. That it's like the spirit just flows inside. The energies is moving different.
Right.
So imagine in our lives when we start to declutter things in our lives. Imagine how that energy would begin to flow in us. Think about that cholesterol, clogs, diseases, sicknesses. All these things is a clog. It's a clutter. It's something that's causing you to be backed up, that you cannot flow right. Everything is connected.
You need a detox.
We need a detox, y'all. Make sure you guys subscribe. If you're still watching this, and you haven't, man, hit that subscribe button. Also, make sure that you guys look in the link below. There's a GoFundMe link.
Yes.
Despite all the naysayers there, we have some naysayers with our GoFundMe.
Yeah.
And I mean naysayers as far as that people don't understand about crowd sharing or crowdsourcing, and so we're raising this money. If y'all look at our GoFundMe, we haven't got $1 from nobody, really. But when you look at it, that's there to help people to say, hey, you know, I see this. How can I contribute? That's why we have it there. You know what I mean? So people can contribute. And our goal is $100,000. You know what I mean? And so
Right.
our link is there. Check out the link. You know, click on the
Actually
link.
read
the
it.
link
Look at the
and see what it's
pictures.
about. You know what I mean? And see that it's not about getting money from you guys to feed our family. That's not why we're doing this
Yeah,
at all.
we
You
can
know,
do ourselves.
right? That's not why we're doing this at all. This is we're building it's a community. It's called Gates of Refuge. It's for people like you. All right? It's for people that want to get away. It's for people that want to start over. It's for people who want to be a part of community, be a part of some life, and they can contribute to their lifestyle and contribute. And that's what it's about. It's about coming together. It's not
Everybody
about drinking the
helping one
Kool-Aid.
another.
Right. It's not about drinking the Kool-Aid.
We ain't drinking no
Right.
damn Kool-Aid, okay?
It's
I
not
don't even
about
drink
Y'all know
complete
what we
domination
talking about.
and
We're
world
not
takeover.
drinking
We're
that
not drinking no
Kool-Aid.
Kool-Aid, all
I don't
right?
even drink
This is no
Kool-Aid.
cult stuff, all right? It is funny. A lot of people who say cult, like I haven't heard that, but from us, but from people about us. But a lot of people that say that's some cult shit is actually in the cult shit.
Right. You ain't never lied.
If you think about it, because
Anyway, you know. But anyway, hit that GoFundMe link.
Another story.
Hit that GoFundMe link
Yes.
and read it. You know, if you feel compelled to contribute,
share,
contribute.
just
Also
share,
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 you know.
share.
Also, you know, we're self-sponsored as well. We have the Paris Boutique. We have Jasmine Paramore Collection. We have UHA. You can find us on our social medias. The links is also at the bottom as well. Also, necklace, seductive charms, belly beads, bracelets, all that stuff. You know, hit up at Seductive Charms and Seductive Charms 1. I think it's Seductive Charms 2. She got to fix that. But anyway, yeah. We got some good stuff, you guys. You know, like I said, man, you know, we're here to help. We're here to be a resource. We're not the answer. We're here to point you to the answer.
Yep.
You know,
Or assist you
and assist you on your endeavors.
on the
You know, we're just a resource, all right? And so, you got anything else?
Nah, I just want to go eat.
Okay. Well, even though we all are different, we all are one. We all are poly. Peace out, you guys. Thanks for tuning in. Polygenesis Show. Peace.